Hey everybody. I figured it's time to go and do a update on the Seaton Infinity V4 TV tuner card. This is a digital cable card tuner. And here you see the box it come in. If you look on the box, you might see a clue to what's going to be in this video. That's right. This card had to be sent back for repair. It got sent back earlier this summer because I had repetitive issues with getting either let's see, one or two messages in Windows Media Center. I'll be getting service not available, or I would be getting subscription required. Now normally those will be issues with the cable card, or in many cases with the tuning adapter, since Time Warner Cable has a SDV network, more or less switched digital video network, and requires a separate tuning adapter for cable card devices. But anyways, we would get these errors on a regular basis every day. And every time I restarted a computer, I'd have to restart it 2 or 3 times to get the card to get an IP address. More or less the card would be blinking its blue light, which it still does that sometimes, but not all the time. And when I went to update the firmware to the latest beta version, it would fail. It would fail at stage 3 unpacking. Every time it would fail. So more or less I got a hold of Seaton support about it, and they asked me to send them a diagnostic file from the Seaton Diagnostics utility, which is this little program right here that comes with the driver. Also, what would happen is, anytime I pulled up this Seaton Diagnostics tool, there'd be a huge delay. It'd take like a minute or two just to find the tuner. It would say I'm searching for tuners, and it would say no tuner found, continuing to search or whatever. And eventually it would usually find a tuner. Sometimes it wouldn't even find a tuner. So the tuner definitely had some issues. So I sent Seaton the diagnostics file, and they said that this tuner has suffered from a hardware defect or a power surge or something. Probably a hardware defect, because that seems pretty common with these things. Of course, they're made in China. Go figure. Yeah. So I sent them the tuner card in its original box, and I got the same box back, even the same bubble wrap inside the box that I put in there when I sent the card to them. The way I knew that they actually worked on the tuner was the ESD wrapping. The ESD bag was different than what I sent them. So anyways, what they did is they updated the firmware and run tests on the card to make sure it was working good and send it back to me. And then I had to repair the cable card with the tuner. I haven't had to replace my cable card. Still using the same cable card and still using the same tuning adapter. But I did a repair on the cable card and had to run the TV setup on all the Windows Media Centers again, and reconfigure the Network Tuners wizard, and reconfigure all that stuff, because I have a network bridge already on this machine. But ever since then, it has worked pretty well. Now every once in a while I would still get a service not available, and I think one time I got the subscription required message. And from what I found online, and from what Time Warner Cable has said, this guy is to blame, the tuning adapter. There have been some times to where I'd have to reset this thing every week, because it would it'd get too slow to respond fast enough to channel requests. So if I continue to have those problems, I'll be having this replaced by Time Warner Cable. But other than that, it's worked very well. And basically, when you go to start and click on network, and then you double click the Seaton Infinity TV device, more or less like right here, you'll get this window in your browser. You get this browser tab. And for those who already know, this tuner device, even though it's installed into computer's PCI Express slot, This tuner card really is a device of its own. I mean, it has its own operating system on board. And I believe it's based on Linux. And it has this interface. You can now when you pull it up with the firmware, the latest beta firmware, or at least what's installed, is the Seaton InfiniTV beta firmware 13-5-6-132. It'll bring you to the system tab by default when you pull up the interface, and it tells you all sorts of other information about the firmware install date, which was July 22nd. That's when I had to send them the card. It tells you the hardware revision, the power status, the boot status, uptime, which is only 4 hours because I had the computer shut down during a thunderstorm today. And yeah, so I'm going to show you something that's pretty interesting with the latest firmware, or at least what's installed. When you go over to the cable card tab, obviously it tells you information about your cable card, and you scroll down, you have this disable EAS forwarding button. Now if you look on my channel, you'll see a video about Windows Media Center's EAS alert thing that pops up on the top of the screen and seems to never go away when it's supposed to. The ability to click this disable EAS forwarding button is very nice, because it stops all the alerts from going to the Windows Media Center. Now obviously if you never check the weather forecast or get on the internet or check your news, you might not want to disable this, because sometimes, like let's say if something bad happens, like let's say a tornado comes or whatever, it'll display a tornado warning. But I've had too many bad experiences with this EAS forwarding, so I just disabled it. So anyways, I'm going to go and show you what the signal is right now. Go to tuner 3 because that's actually online right now. The signal level is a positive 2.6, and ever since Time Warner Cable come out and installed the equalizer, that's what it's called, technicians out there. It is called an equalizer. That's what the technician told me. It was actually a brand new device to our division of Time Warner Cable. They had just got some in, and they just started putting them into service. I have to say, this thing has worked very well. Never have signal problems anymore. So obviously, that is the only tuner of the 4 that's in service right now. No, actually 2 and 3 are going. Yeah, 2 and 3 are used by the main Media Center computer. So obviously the Media Center PC in there did record a program while tuning to another channel. So anyways, I just want to give you guys a little update on the Seaton device. Overall, it's been a very decent experience. However, I did have to send it back one time. The good thing is Seaton's technical support is very good. They're there to help you solve problems. And Seaton does offer a Express RMA, which you have to give them your credit card information, and they'll send you another tuner. And when you receive the tuner, they also give you the shipping label to send your existing one back. The only bad thing is if something happens during shipping and they don't receive your tuner, you get billed, I think, $200, the retail price of the tuner. So you always want to be careful about that. So while this tuner card has worked very well, they claim it allows you to replace your set-top box and save on your cable bill. It's advised that you keep a set-top box available just in case something goes wrong with your Seaton. So anyways, any questions or comments, feel free to ask, and thanks for watching.